Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Susan Lynn. I'm a psychic and a medium, and today you're tuning into my video series called Waaay Out Wednesdays. Now, to be honest with you, some of these videos are way out there, and you really can look at my playlist by clicking on the little round, labyrinth logo, and you will go to my main YouTube channel, and you can click on playlist, and then you can find the WOW playlist. And you can learn about a lot of wow things, everything from soul retrieval, soul contracts, Sasquatch aliens, soul contracts, you just name it. I've covered it, ghosts, spirits, the whole thing. Now, for whatever reason, if you're new here, hi, welcome. I'm 40% Susan, 60% spirit guides. I blend this so that it kind of seems like it's just me talking, but it's not, because, well, I'd be doing something else right now. But anyway, no, I really love doing this and I love hanging out with you guys, but they do put a lot on my plate. Okay, so, and today we have Bossy. We have the Bossy spirit guides with us. They're very bossy, and they want us to stand in our power. They want us to take responsibility for our lives is what they want. And they're kind of pushy about it. So we're gonna do this, right? Hopefully, if my dog doesn't start barking, we're going to do this. And how we're going to do it. Now, listen, there are lots of ways you can stand in your power. Number one, love yourself. It's a process. It's a process. Sometimes we don't realize that we don't love ourselves. Truly, society doesn't teach us to love ourselves. They teach us to grow up, get working, and contribute and fit into society's narrow confines. And theoretically, if you do all that, you get some kind of gold ring. Never found it myself, but so they don't teach us this. It's not in their best interest for us to be happy and healthy and wealthy. Okay. So this is what this video is going to help you do. These are some first steps. It's very hard for some of us to discern what we want. Truly, it really is. It's hard for us to discern what we want. We think we want the job, the relationship, the house, the land, the vacation, the car, whatever it is. We think we want these things, but the truth of the matter is society has told us and convinced us that we want these things. Okay? What your soul wants is for you to be happy. That's what your soul wants. Your soul doesn't care about the car. Your soul doesn't care about the job. Okay? Your soul cares about expanding and not only being happy, but honestly experiencing life, experiencing all that life has to offer, the downs and the ups. They often tell you guys that your life is like a piano or a song. If you heard all one note, it wouldn't be a song, or it would be a really boring song that no one would listen to, right? We want to hear a song that's complex, that has a hook, right? That we start singing, that has a groove to it. So create the groove in your life. Play all the notes. Know that sometimes there's going to be low notes, but we don't have to stay there. We don't have to keep playing the high notes all the time to please people. We don't have to be a people pleaser either. And we don't have to stay in the middle. Those people that are afraid to play the low notes or the high notes, that just want to be invisible. Just leave me alone. I'll just be alone. I'll live alone. That way nobody can, hurt me, harm me, ask anything of me, or let me down. We want to run up and down those notes and experience all of it. If you're not afraid to experience all the notes, that means you literally run up and down the notes because you're not afraid of experiencing the low notes. You'll run over to those low notes. You'll run back to the high notes. You'll do a little jig in the middle. Now, if you're doing that in your life, you're not stuck. You're not stuck in the low or the middle or the high. You're not stuck. And that means you're not going to be stuck. If something terrible happens in your life, which it's going to, You're not going to get stuck there. You're going to say, this is terrible, heartbreaking, beyond imagination bad. I'm having a really hard time right now. I'm really depressed. I'm really, really feeling grief. Those are all valid. Those are all happen to all of us. And allow that and feel it, own it, experience it. And when you're done, start walking towards those middle notes. Start walking faster. Start jumping, start dancing. Experience it all. Okay? So, what we're going to talk about today is standing in your power and understanding what your hidden power is. Okay? Now, this is going to be your hidden power right now, in this moment. What I'm going to talk about right now is your hidden power in this moment. You have tools that you can use. Even psychics need tools, because when it comes to reading myself and talking to my spirit guides, and you guys know I do this on the daily, and sometimes I don't agree with them, but that's another story. Well, most of the time I don't agree with them. But anyway, if it's important, if it's really important to me, really important, I can't hear my spirit guides over my own darn ego, my own fears, my own limiting beliefs. I just had a life-changing experience. I led an event. I had an event. They talked to me for 3 years about this. I had psychics and friends tell me I was going to be standing in front of 100 people. And I literally would just shut them up. I would just say, I don't want to hear it. Don't tell me. I don't want to hear it. 3 years. Culminated this last weekend. I stood in front of 100 people with a microphone on a stage, and I organized it. And that was overcoming my limiting belief. My limiting belief was, I don't have anything more to say to anybody than anybody else does. Why would people come? Why would people pay money? Right? And do you know what the guides did? They turned it around on me, and I'm going to turn it around on you too. Okay, Susan, you don't want to be egotistical, right? I mean, that's what you're saying. You're saying, I don't want to be all egotistical. I don't want to be powerful. I don't want to have the power. I'm not powerful. Who am I? Right? What does that mean? I'm in the middle of those keys. I'm in the middle. Don't pay any attention to me. Don't see me. I got nothing. I just want to get through this life. Well, they turned it around on me and they said, what if you not doing the event? What if you not becoming a psychic? What if you not using your abilities is egotistical? Say what? I was like, say what? What are you talking about? They said, well, you've got a gift, but you don't believe in yourself. Therefore, you're not helping anybody with that gift. That's egotistic. By not standing in your power, you're being egotistical. Turned it all around on me. Like, it turned around on me. I was like, well, damn. I mean, you can't argue with that. They turned my own argument against me, which is why I argue with them a lot. But anyway, so you and me, the viewer, we're going to use tools, because as I said, when I ask the spirit guides a question that is loaded with fear or anticipation, or I want it to be a certain way, my ego is going to be the loudest voice. My thoughts are going to be the ego thoughts, not my spirit guides' thoughts. They can't get through all of that. So they'll bring other people in your life. They'll bring people in your life to say, gosh, you would be a great teacher. And you're like, what are you talking about? Like, what? It's the furthest thing from your mind. Your soul's path is always the furthest thing from your mind. Always. And it's the thing you don't want to do and the thing you're afraid of. Isn't that nice, the way they set up this game that we're playing? So you might want to get some tools. Okay. Now, I would suggest that you start off using cards, because a pendulum can be affected by your energy. It can also be affected by any kind of crazy tricksters you got in your house. It can be affected by your crazy uncle who just thinks it's funny to make your pendulum swing no when it should be yes. You really have to have a connection, a bulletproof connection to the pendulum to use it. I find a lot of healers use the pendulum and it is dead on, but they've worked on that connection. They're healers. They've worked on connecting to their higher source. They have this bulletproof connection to whatever that is. If you're not a healer that's working all the time, if you're just kind of you've done Reiki, but you don't use it all the time, you don't have that bulletproof connection. And I don't believe a pendulum is that trustworthy. I believe it's much harder to get a false answer out of cards. Now, you don't need to have cards. Don't turn this video off. What you doing? Don't do that. You're watching online right now. Open up a new window, a new browser window. Type in free Oracle cards online. Free Oracle cards online. You'll probably see Colette Baron Reed's Oracle cards pop up. You can use them right now. You can use Oracle cards right now. Okay? Now, if you do have cards, get your cards. I don't care if they're dusty. I don't care if they're under the bed. Go get them. I'll wait. Okay. So you can just pause the video if you need to go get your cards. Now, we always, when we do this work, we always want to set our intention. Always. Our intention is, I'm working with the highest energies available that are for my highest good. Or you can say, I'm working with God. Or you can say, I'm working with, fill in the ascended master, Jesus, Kuan Yin, whoever your ascended master is, Buddha. For this, you could also say, I'm working with my higher self or my oversoul. For my highest good, I'm working with my higher self. Let's try that. You get your cards. I don't care if they're tarot. I don't care if they're oracle. I don't care what they are. Okay? It doesn't matter. The question is going to be, and I do this with my members. I do have a membership. You can read about it on my website, SusanLynnMedium.com. I do this every other Sunday, and I call it Soul Growth Sunday. And I've done it for 2 years. And I have seen my people blossom. Even the hardest cases blossom. So this really does work. If you'll do this work, it will work. And if you want to get through this period of time that we're going through, which is really, for lack of a better description, crappy, this is how you do it. Because when you allow worry and fear to take over, you're not in your power. If you're not in your power, you're not living your life. If you're not living your life, you're wasting this incarnation. And I'll give you a little tip, pro tip. Our lives are so short, really short. In the scheme of things, your spirit guides are just as happy for you to learn this lesson over 20 lives or 50 lives or 100 lives. They don't care. You want to know how I know? They told me, oh, it's okay, Susan. Don't worry about that. You can learn it in the next life. I was like, are you for real? Oh, no, honey. I'm learning this right now. What do I got to do? What do I need to do? I'll do it. Right? They don't care. They love us unconditionally. And they want us to experience this, whether it's bad, good, whatever it is. They want us to experience it. And they want our soul to experience it to a degree where we don't need to experience it anymore. You might call that learning the lesson. If you don't, when you cross over, nobody makes you come back. But when you cross over, you want to come back because you're like, oh my God, I was so close. I was this close, y'all. Put me back in. Give me a body. I'll take that one. I'll take those parents. All of a sudden, you're back in, learning the same lesson. Do you want to do that? Because I don't, personally. So let's get your cards and let's get busy. Now you can ask yourself, you can ask yourself this question. You can do it this way. Ask yourself this question and write it down. Write down the very first thing you get. Remember, this is for today, not for your life, not for this week, not for next month. It's for today. Standing in our power today. So ask your question. What is a hidden power that I have that I don't know about or I'm not aware of? What is a hidden power that I don't know of or I'm not aware of that I have? One more time. What is a hidden from my consciousness power today that I have that I'm not aware of? A power. You're thinking, ooh, I'm psychic, I'm clairaudient, I'm a channel, I'm an astrologer, I'm a numerologist. You might be surprised because your cards don't say those things. Unless you're using cards that say, what is my, career? You're not going to get that answer. If you're using the tarot, you're going to get an answer like this. The Four of Swords. Not the best answer you would want to get. Rest, recuperation. It says meditation and recovering from conflict or illness. Time out, a well-earned break. Deal with it tomorrow. Now you can get tarot cards like this that have the words on them. They have the reversed meaning and they have the upright meaning. You can get these on Etsy or sometimes on Amazon. They're called training tarot cards. I don't know why it won't focus. There it goes. Training tarot cards or tarot cards with keywords. Now, what if you get a card like this? You're like, Susan, how is that my power? You want to know what? I'm uniquely qualified to talk to you about this today because I've done 2 years of these with my clients, with my members, and I know all of it. I've seen it all. Okay. I got this card. This is the card I got. This is my power. Y'all, this is my power. 4 swords, right? This is why I argue with my guides. That's my power. Where's the Ace of Cups? Oh my God, y'all. Oh my God. I just, for fun, lifted up this tarot deck like this. There's my Ace of Cups. They're so funny. Frankly, they freak me out, to be honest with you. Okay. Anyway, they really freak me out. Why is this my power? How can a bad card be your power? Your hidden power? Well, because I just told y'all I did an event for 3 days, which was 16 hours of speakers. And at the end of it, we had a shaman create a freaking portal and we were all sucked up into outer space. And I'm not kidding you. We really were. The actual hotel employees noticed something was going on in there and they were wanting to participate. So I need rest. Instead, I'm doing this video. And that's what I said in the beginning, right? I need rest. My hidden power is deal with it tomorrow. My hidden power is rest. Okay. So I decided for grins to pull another card. I pulled this card from this deck, which is called LLQ. I don't speak French. ELLEQUI. And it's a really nice deck. And I pulled this card, which is She Who Creates, Creativity, Originality, and Spontaneity. Okay. She looked a little crazy there. This card's a little worn, but it's a nice deck. You can get it on Amazon as well. She Who Creates. You can see it right there. So now I've got conflicting images. Well, which is it, spirit guides? You want me to take a nap or you want me to get up and create something? What am I doing right now? What am I doing right now? Y'all, creating. How did I do it? Spontaneously. So you could say this message is, Susan, it's okay. Create. We know you're going to because you're hard-headed. We know you're not going to listen to us. Go on with it. Do you, boo. So I am creating, spontaneous. But I got the message. I heard their message. And after this video, I'm going to the couch because I am tired. I'm exhausted. Physically, mentally, emotionally, all the above. So yeah, I'm going to take care of myself. Thank you. Thank you for that. Right? Be in gratitude. Acknowledge and be in gratitude. Even if you don't understand the card, thank you. Thank you for this card. Thank you for this message. Thank you for working with me today. Feel it. And if you don't understand the card, put it down. You know what I'm going to say? Write it in your book. Write it in your book. Because when you write it in your book, you don't understand it today. But you pull cards every day for a week or every week for a month. And you come back to your book. And all those pages are dots that, when read together, create a story, connect. You didn't understand this card today, but you will next week, or you will tomorrow. Okay? So you don't have to understand it today. Write it down. Accept the message. And then ask them to show you more. Please show me more. I don't think I understand this. Please show me more. Okay? Let's say you even got, here's the card, the next card that's on top, is the Five of Swords. And I don't even read tarot, y'all. That's why I got the cheaters. I got the cheater tarot with, the description, right? I don't have to get the book out. It's right there, right? So the Five of Swords says strife, arguments, tension, betrayal, loss, defeat, unhealthy competition, no-win situation, and an empty victory. Oh, hell. Let's say you got that card. You might be tempted to pull more cards. And you might. But then your next card is the Sun. And the next card is the Magician. And the next card is the Two of Cups. And now how are you going to make sense of that? Right? Don't confuse yourself. Jesus. Now I've got my cards all mixed up. Okay. When you're doing this and you don't know spreads, if you don't use tarot and you don't know how to use a spread, pull one card. If you know how to use a spread and you use them well, do a spread, because the spreads assign the cards to positions that tell you what they mean. And if that sounds intriguing to you, maybe you should take a tarot class, right? Okay. But if you don't know spreads, I wouldn't suggest that you start doing spreads for this thing I'm talking about, because you're going to get lost in the spread and you're not going to ever do anything. You're never going to get the message. You want a message. This is about action. The guides are trying to get you to take action. This isn't a 6-week course. This is today. Your hidden power for today. If your hidden power is this, your hidden power for today is a no-win situation, an empty victory. Well, then what I would do is I would say, okay, I'm going to write that down. And I'm going to spend a moment thinking about it. Where in my life today am I experiencing an empty victory? An empty victory could be the same thing that I'm experiencing right now. Yeah, I'm doing this video, but it's taking a toll from me, and maybe I should just go lay down, right? An empty victory doesn't have to be, it can be anything. Open your eyes, expand. This message could have many different meanings. Okay, let's say you pulled the Tower card. Well, your power today, in regards to the Power card, is you're going to have a reboot. Is it not a Tower moment when your computer locks up and you can't use it and you have to reboot and you lose everything on there? Isn't that a Tower moment, right? Reboot your life today. That's what a Tower moment is. A Tower moment is something's going to go kabang and it's going to release you. Perhaps a Tower moment would be when you finally get into that argument and you feel like you got something off your chest and now you can move past it. So think about it in a bigger way. Okay. Now you can take this lesson and you can go from today to, oh, I see how this works. I like this, right? What is my hidden power? Why are we asking about a hidden power? Because it's something you're not aware of. Don't we all want to know what we're not aware of? Yes, we do. So this is an important, powerful thing to do. So now you can take your cards and you can shuffle them. And yes, you can use jumpers, and yes, you can use reversals or upside down if you want to. If you're using tarot, if that works for you, there are no rules. Sometimes I use jumpers. Sometimes I don't. More often than not, I don't. If you're using tarot, if you're using, where'd my cards go? If you're using Oracle, there isn't usually reversals or upside down cards. Okay. So now the next thing you're going to do, you didn't know this was a class. You need to go get more paper, need to drink water, pause the video. I'll be here when you get back. Okay. Oh, hey. Okay. I didn't ask the question yet, cards. Don't get ahead of me. Okay. The question is, what is my hidden power for this week? Now we went from today to this week. Get your pad and your paper out and write down the question. What is my hidden power for this week? Write down the date of the week. Write down what you're using. Are you using tarot? Are you using Oracle? If you're using Oracle, write down the deck you're using. Write down anything you need to know to find that card again. So write down the number or the name, whatever your deck uses, write it all down, because you're going to come back to that page and you're going to be like, what is that card again? And you might need to look it up. You may need to get the book out and look it up to find out more. So you want to have everything that you need later to do that. The question is, what is my hidden power for this week that I'm not aware of? Obviously, hidden and not aware of is redundant. What is my hidden power this week? What is my hidden power this week? You might say in your head, Wednesday through Wednesday, and you might get the intention, the feeling, the knowing, or you might hear something that says, no, for some reason, I feel like it's just going to be Wednesday through Friday. I feel like I start a new week on Saturday. Note that down. If you try to say Wednesday to Wednesday and that doesn't feel right, but you don't know why, it just doesn't feel right, then that's the wrong dates. Then say to yourself, okay, how about Wednesday through Friday or Monday through Friday? Whenever you're watching this video, ask and feel it, feel into it. Okay. Doesn't matter when you're watching, just feel into it and note, I didn't like that for some reason. That's you understanding how your intuition works with you. I don't know why, I just didn't like it. I can tell you why you don't know why, because that was psychic. That was intuition. That's why you don't know why. But we need to start saying, instead of, I don't know why, my intuition told me. My gut feeling told me. Oh, Lord of mercy. What's going on now? All right. I'm just going to take this jumper because I'm tired of talking and I'm tired of shuffling. Okay. Temperance. So for me, this week, my hidden power is going to be temperance. Temperance means balance, moderation, patience, purpose, meaning, tolerance, rhythm and harmony, balance, blending, adaptation, and self-control. They talking about chocolate. I know what they're talking about. All right. I got chocolate in the house. Think I'm going to self-control? I don't think so. Anyway, this week, what I can know about my week that I'm not aware of, I'm not aware that I'm going to need temperance this week. This is what I don't know. And what you don't know is super important, isn't it? It's everything. This is why we do this work, is to look around the corner to see what's happening, right? To get that information that we don't know in our physical knowing. So I'm going to need to be balanced. I'm going to need to be moderated. There's a lot of words on this card, and you can pick out which one stands out to you. Moderation, balance, purpose, meaning, tolerance, rhythm and healing or harmony. This is where you use your intuition. Which of these words do I feel like is going to be important for me? And then if you want to do something interesting, write that down. So you're saying, your question is, what are my hidden powers for this week? Whatever the dates are, write that down, write down the deck, write down all that stuff. Then write down the word that stood out to you. And if you're reading a book, let's say you've got a Oracle deck and you're reading the description in the book, write down the sentence that stands out to you or the word. Intuit. I think it's going to be about this. Write that down. This is important. Then you can come back. If you want to do this like a self-taught class, you can come back at the end of the week and see how you did. So you can say, well, this tarot card, I picked balance. I thought I'm going to need balance. Then you come back a week later and you read the description in the book, or you read, whatever's on the card, and you say, well, balance. Nope, I didn't need balance. What I really need was self-control because I ate a whole bag of chocolate. That's similar. I didn't balance my diet, but it's different. So you can grade yourself to a degree, not judge. It's data, it's information. Okay, I thought I was going to need balance. It turned out I needed balance and self-control. So you can go back to that book and say, I wrote down that I felt like out of all these things this book says, this is what was standing out to me. This is what felt. But when I went back a week later, I saw that was really important. Like that, I nailed it. That is, that's exactly what happened. But also I can see how these other things kind of showed up too. You're developing trust. You're developing faith, and you're developing you're working with your guides. Who do you think's pulling these cards? Santa Claus? You're working with your guides. You're working with your higher self. Whoever you decided to call on, mostly that's who's helping you. When I say mostly, I say that because if I called on my spirit guides, the higher self might come in to influence that. Also, if you have a guide on the other side that's a family member, that family member might also influence. So energy is, what you're doing is you're saying, I want the energy of love and light. And within the parameters of love and light, I might have an influence of a family member on the other side, Jesus and my higher self might all come together and influence that reading. Okay. But we always want to have the parameters of love and light, my highest good. So in this way, you can find out what's hidden, and it's a power because what's hidden that's brought to light becomes a power. It's like finding a tool you didn't know you had that's perfect to fix this problem. That's a power, right? So this is powerful. I don't want you to get far ahead. I want you to learn to work in the moment. I want you to go day by day. What's happening today? Because if you get all wound up in what's happening this week and you get a bad card, like this isn't a bad card per se, but let's say you get the 5 of Wands and it looks like petty conflict, bickering. If you preload that energy into your week, you're going to go looking for it. You're going to expect it. And we don't want to put our order into the universe for petty conflict. As you learn to work with this energy more, and you're better about being in your own power, then you can go a week ahead and you can say, okay, I'm going to head this off at the pass. So instead of like ordering petty conflict, going, God, I don't want to be in conflict. I don't want to have petty conflict. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need this week. I've got all these things going. You know what I mean? So now you're already in resistance. Resistance is not where our power is. As you work with this energy more and more, you can be aware. If you can be aware that something untoward or something unsavory or something that you're not going to like is going to happen and still be neutral about it, then you can go into the future. You have to remain neutral, because if you get emotional, you're putting your order into the universe. The problem is humans don't count their wins. We don't pay attention to good things. We don't pay attention to good things. We pay attention to bad things. That's why the news is full of bad things. We pay attention to the one bad thing that happened that week. We don't pay attention that we got green lights all the way to work and we arrived 10 minutes early and we had time to sit down and eat breakfast. We don't pay attention to the fact that our grandkid came home with A's. That energy doesn't stay with us all week. But one bad thing happens and that energy stays with us all week. Shift your perspective. Focus on the positive. Stay in action mode. Stay in today. Okay? Let me know what you thought. You can do all this with free cards online, or you can buy cards, Or you can, use your own intuition. You can ask your own guides, what is my hidden power? Write down the first thing that comes to your mind. The first thing that comes to your mind. Do it right now. What is your hidden power? What's the first thing that comes to your mind? Write it down. Maybe it's patience. Maybe it's skill. Maybe they show you a picture of something and you have to understand what they're showing you. Maybe you get a feeling of something and you have to understand what the feeling is. You have to translate it into words. Maybe you don't get anything, and that's okay too. That's why you go to the cards, because sometimes it's just hard for them to get a message in. Okay? It doesn't mean you're not psychic. Working with the cards can enhance this, your knowings, your clairs. With that, I'm going to let this video end. Thank you so much for watching Waaay Out Wednesday. As I mentioned, I have a whole playlist of these videos. Some of them they're all educational because that's what I'm here to do in this lifetime. But some of them are on kind of wackadoodle subjects and some of them are not, like today. Mostly we do this, my spirit guides and I, to give you things that can help you, on your way, on your journey through this incarnation. Okay. Take really good care. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you like this content, hit the subscribe button, because if you don't subscribe, they won't continue showing you this content because YouTube will think, well, they weren't that interested. And then they'll show you something else and you'll wonder where that crazy lady went. Okay. Hit the subscribe button. Thank you so very much. Take really, really good care of yourselves. Much love and light to you.